was so mean. And that little tiny bunny.
Allegedly.
Oh, you ruined it, man. It was supposed to be allegedly, like you always do.
That little bunny? No.
Yeah, apparently she's...
I don't even know how that bunny got there. It's ridiculous.
Apparently she's had all kinds of procedures done, and we're just not aware of it yet. And so she can't show herself on the screen. That's
that's why. Sure, yeah.
No, there's, I don't know. What are you, on a cell phone somewhere?
Yeah, technical issues. Okay.
Yeah, and I spent the last few days reinstalling and installing Windows twice. And the second time, it looks like it might have worked because I was having issues with... Well, it doesn't... I don't even care. You guys would be bore you to death. So, yeah. We are going to... today we're going to be covering the interview with Lori Vallow.
Lori the lunatic.
A.K.A. Daybell in the... at that time she was Vallow, though, when she was being questioned at the Chandler Police Department. I mean, she's absolutely lunatic. She's a lunatic, okay?
Mm-hmm.
That's all I can say. But anyways, congratulations.
I mean, this is just a couple hours after, right, Gray? After her husband's murder.
Yep. But also, congratulations on your 10 years with Scott.
Thank you.
You know, so awesome.
Thank you.
Okay, so you guys, let me see what it looks like on the next page, because I didn't have time to... Is that going to sort of work, or where are we at?
There you go.
Kind of like cutting off part of the other side. Oh, I know, it's over here. Hold on. Kind of. Yeah, it's weird how when you get it, you get new software back on again, and I think that should be okay about right there.
It looks good to me.
Yeah. All right, so we're just going to start playing it right now. All right?
Let's go.
That is after I make sure it's at the beginning. Okay.
Oh, wow. That's awesome. You know what? It's such a struggle. You go back to school, I try to talk to the teachers, but in high school, they don't care. They're like, you're not here, do the work, or don't. Like, they don't care.
Well,
so
I think with high school, it's like, they're just pumping.
But when she was in elementary and junior high, all the teachers worked with her. They were nice about it. But by high school, there's so many kids that just don't care. And I was like, just take it. You're so smart. Let's just take it and see if you pass it. She passed it. Like,
and got a really good score?
Yeah, she passed it with, like, college ready in every category the first time.
Well, and now she can do what she wants.
So that's talking about Tylee, obviously. That just shows you how smart Tylee was. That's why they couldn't control her, probably.
So
exactly.
She's better off that way.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know Laura's your first name, right?
Yeah.
Lauri.
Lori.
Okay. And then what's your last name?
Vallow. Vallow.
And your date of birth? And your phone number? And you live at the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, I know this sounds silly, but it's probably the easiest way to start, is just to tell me what happened. And then, so you can start what makes the most sense to you, and we'll just work our way through, and I'm going to ask you a bunch of questions just to kind of clarify.
Sure.
So I know you talked to the initial patrol officer.
And he just got information.
Okay. So yeah, if you can just kind of tell me kind of what happened. It sounds like some of this may have started last night or something along those lines. Right. So start where you think it makes the most sense.
Okay. So, I
told you.
Hey, look, you know what's weird about her is, like, she's going to have
Don't do that. You scared me.
No, but it's just crazy. Like, see, in her mind right there, she's saying, why did I kill him? Let me see. Well, let me go back. Yeah. Let's go back in time and explain all the things, right? Like,
yeah, how are you laughing? This is like 2 hours later, you lunatic.
She's insane.
It's a crazy question.
Well, so we moved into this house 3 weeks ago because he offered to get me a house here where all my family is. So we were in Houston. And so he's like, we had decided to separate or whatever. So he's like, well, I'll pay for a house for you and for JJ and whatever, because he's all about JJ. He's never about Tylee, but he's all about JJ. Because we adopted him together. He's his great nephew. We adopted him as a baby.
I'm going to switch it over to a different screen. Sorry, guys. I think this is the one. And then I can do other things. There we go. Boom. All right.
And so we adopted him as a baby, and so we've been raising him together. And he travels all the time for business, so he's used to just going back and forth. So he's always gone like Monday through Friday. So he came when we first moved in and brought me stuff from Houston, like a U-Haul, and then he hasn't been back. But it's all these threats on my phone all the time, you know, like whatever, all these things. And then he told me...
What kind of threats?
Just... You'd have to read them to see, but he's always mad at me, right?
Okay.
And he doesn't want a divorce, but I don't like him and don't want to deal with him, so that's just how it is. So we married for 14 years, we dealt with it for 14 years, of him being horrible to her. Like, he gets in huge fights with her, a lot of things. But anyway, so he said, I'm coming Wednesday night, all of a sudden. I want to see JJ. And I told him, I said, I will never keep JJ from you. You can come see whenever you want to. Come take him to school, whatever. Like, I'm not going to do that.
So when you initially moved, he had said he was going to buy you a house. So you moved here with your...
Yeah, he was going to rent us a house.
And so you moved...
All my family lives here. So we lived here for a long time.
Okay.
And then he moved us to Houston.
Okay.
And we were there with my son. He was out of school. He didn't have any of his, like, services, his DDD, his anything.
So he's trying to make him seem bad. He moved us all the way and he didn't have anything, and... You know, but that's probably how he made his money, right? I mean, he had to move where I think he did pretty well.
I ripped him out of school and said, we're moving.
Okay.
And I didn't go with him at first. And he took him. And I let him take him. And I didn't file anything or whatever. And then he filed something against me and said, I'm only going to get supervised visits because I'm crazy and blah, 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 you know, the story. And so I just didn't talk to him for like 30 days and let him take care of him. Let him see what I've been doing for the past 7 years.
What's that?
Isn't the truth that she left for 60 days?
Yeah, she left for 2 months.
Yeah, she's trying
to make him...
She's trying to act like he took him and she just let him take him. That's not even true.
And she left for 2 months to let him know what it feels like to deal with him, with JJ every day.
Years, because men need to do that. You know, I have 5 kids. I have grown kids. I have grandkids.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you're going to threaten me that you're not going to let me see my child without supervised visitation? Okay. Do it for 30 days and see how long it lasts. You're begging me to come pick him up.
Yeah.
So she is kind of saying here, like, hey, I made him see what it felt like, or something.
Mm-hmm.
But she did. She's like, come back, and blah, blah, blah. So I moved in with them to Houston for the family, you know, and Tylee went with me. We drove to Houston from here, and left all our family and all his support, all my son's support, like his cousins, everything. And we were there, and I enrolled him in school there. I tried to start all his services, and it takes forever.
Yeah.
You know, it takes so long to get that done.
There's no easy transfer.
There's no easy transfer.
You start from the beginning.
It's a total new thing. Yeah. And he didn't do any of it in those 30 days. So he just had gone without services, without even applying. And I'm like, do you even realize? Because he didn't ever do it in the first place. I did it.
Is this loud enough for you guys? It looks like it's at down at only 15. It needs to be up. You want it a little higher, or?
Long story. I'll keep it short. He hasn't been here in a couple weeks since we moved in. Okay. He came. He was very nasty when he was there, but he travels for business. So he went back to the Houston house, and he's like, I'm coming on Wednesday night, and I'm going to come pick up JJ and take him to school Thursday. Pick him up Thursday, take him Friday, whatever. And I said, Casey wanted to come to the house. And I said, you can't come stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee. She's a minor. She has to live here.
Yeah.
So, because he gets in huge fights up there.
Okay.
And she hates him. And so I'm like, you can't stay at the house, so I will book you a hotel, because he stays in hotels all the time because he travels for business, and the business pays for it, right? So I said, I will book you a hotel nearby.
What does he do?
He works with teachers in their retirement plans, but he goes to them at their school. He mostly works in California. Okay. No matter where we live. And we lived in Hawaii. He'd work in California. He'd work in Texas. He has like books of business in different areas. And so he just goes wherever. It kind of just gives him freedom that he doesn't have to stay home every day and take care of special needs child. It's like an excuse, right? So I've done that myself for the last 7 years anyway. And I was a single mom before I married him with my 2 kids. Yeah. And he had 2 kids. We got married, tried to make a family. You know how it goes. Anyway. So he said he was coming last night. I said, well, you can't stay at this house because you can't get along with Tylee, and I'll get you a hotel and you can come play with JJ. But he goes to school all day. Yeah. I got him back into his school. his services, I met with the DDD yesterday, and they finally are getting his services back, but we're paying $125 a day to have him back at school because he's so out of his routine. He's been a nightmare on the floor, kicking stuff, hitting stuff, walls, like, he just ripped him out of his life.
Yeah.
So, anyway, just how he is, because he only thinks about himself. So he says, coming to get JJ, and JJ's like, I don't want Dad, because he knows Dad took him away, so he was freaking out, right? So I didn't tell him he was even coming, like, Dad's going to come take you to school or anything. So he didn't bother me last night, which I was surprised. I was expecting kind of an ambush for him to kind of, like, come over or be just mean and say, it's my house, I'm on the lease, I'm going to stay here, kind of thing, because that's kind of his macho attitude. And so he came this morning. I was getting JJ ready.
So he got in last night, but he wasn't at the house last night.
Yeah, I didn't hear from him, except for he texted me and said, I'll be there at 7:30 to pick up JJ.
Okay.
And I was like, okay, that was good, because I didn't hear from him. And then he came over in the morning, and he's like banging on the door. I'm like, oh great, here we go, you know. And I was just gonna be nice. I was just gonna be nice as possible, and
I bet he just knocked on the door normally. How much you want to bet?
That's what I'm gonna guess. Yeah.
JJ stuff all ready for school, and so.
Do you remember about what time he got there?
He said he'd be there 7:30, but it was more like 7:40ish or 7:35. I don't know.
Okay.
But I remember thinking, looking at the clock, and he wasn't there at 7:30, and he's usually Mr. On
Punctual.
time. Yes. So I was like, okay. And then JJ was like, oh, Dad. And then he was like, Mommy, and like ran to me and was like holding me. He's like, you're not taking me to school. And I was like, it's okay, Dad, I can just drive you to school. It's not a big deal. You know, just trying to make it whatever.
Calm.
Yeah, calm. And then he was just being real smirky and real like jerky, you know, to me. And I was like ignoring him, whatever. And so he was like,
And your brother lives there with you?
no,
Okay.
he had stayed with me last night because I was worried he was going to come over and cause trouble with me.
See, look at that right there. That even admits that she brought him over specifically for that situation, right?
And that's not what Alex says.
Right.
He says that he came over so they could do something the next day.
Exactly. It doesn't match.
Yeah, this is what they were doing the next day.
Okay.
And just wanted someone else there, like my brother there, because I trust my brother. And it's been a long story. Like, I had to go live at my brother's when he took JJ, and, you know, he's just been difficult. So, anyway. So I got JJ stuff ready. And he was like, well, and he's like this about timing. He's like, I'm leaving in 20 minutes because it's like 15 minutes to the school, and like you can't get there early. They don't open the gates until 8:20 or something like that. And I said, well, why don't you just go now? I don't want him in the house. I'm like, why don't you just go now and take him to Burger King because that's what he likes for breakfast. And he's very particular about food. Like, he wanted chicken fries for breakfast and a Sprite. Like, and I just get what he wants, because if you don't get what he wants, then it's like on the floor screaming, dragging him into school. Like, and he's big and he's heavy, and it's hard for me to handle. But anyway. So I said, just go. And so he said, okay. So I gave him a backpack. He got in the car. This is his MO, right? He always leaves something in the house and comes back. He never leaves the first time. I always expect my husband to come back into the house, right? So I guess he had left his phone on the counter.
So he initially left with the backpack and with JJ?
And so he put them in the car,
Okay.
in the driveway, and then he came back in, right? So I kissed JJ goodbye. He came back in, and his phone was on the counter, and I had his phone. And he was like, give me my phone. And I was like, why don't you show me your text that you've been texting, blah, 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 you know, whatever. Because he's like acting really weird, like he's plotting something against me. Like, I'm like, why are you even here? Like, what did you come here?
See, it's weird too, because they're the ones that are plotting something. But she might be thinking that because at that time, isn't he already Ned Schneider in her mind?
He's already Ned at this point.
He's plotting.
Yeah, if she ignores him and he's being snarky, then why'd you take his phone? Yeah, I mean, she clearly knows all of what's going on.
Yeah.
She's just liar.
Yeah, I think what we kind of thinking is that she intentionally provoked a situation there, knowing that Alex, who was brought there to protect her, had a gun.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah.
Here for, you know, he's been talking to my other brother, and my brother came into town at the same time last night. And I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother, and I was like, And so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk?
Yeah, I guess Adam was in town right then. Sounds like he got into town too, the way she worded that. Let me just rewind this a little bit.
That's true. Adam was there. Adam was in town. He wasn't at her house, but he was coming into town because they were going to try to talk to her and do some kind of intervention.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, it's so unfortunate that he didn't go with them even in that morning time.
I know.
You know, jeez.
Same time last night, and I haven't talked to my brother in a while, my other brother, and I was like, and so he was texting him on the phone when he first got to my house, and I'm like, why are you texting Adam? Like, do you even talk to him? Like, my other brother. And, you know, he's been telling me all these texts, like, you're going down, blah, 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 blah. He's blaming me for our marriage breaking up and my niece getting divorced.
Wow.
And my friend getting divorced. He said, I'm a destroyer of families because I want everybody to get divorced. I'm like, what would my motivation be for people getting divorced? So I could babysit the kids more? Like, why would I have any control over what people do?
Yeah.
So it's just very odd. But anyway, he goes nuts. He's gone nuts on us a lot of times. Tylee and I have had to leave with JJ over the years probably 5 times and just stay in a hotel for 2 days because he goes nuts. Like, you don't know what's going to set him off, like, whatever. And she's mad at me for always, like, going back. But we had JJ, and he's special needs, and it's really hard. Like,
That would have been a good follow-up to Tylee to see. Have you guys ever had to leave and stay in a hotel? Just to see if that's something that, and then see what she said.
It would have, because she said JJ with JJ because it's hard on him, but apparently he's mean to Tylee, not JJ, so...
like, it's even hard to take care of it by yourself.
So when you say he goes nuts, that can mean a lot of different things.
Right.
So goes nuts like yelling and screaming.
Yeah,
goes
yelling and
nuts like
screaming,
breaking
like,
things.
yes.
Goes nuts like physical violence.
He's never really, besides, like, grabbing us and pushing us, but not, like, punching us or something. But with Tylee, he has gotten physical
Okay.
before. And with my grown son.
Like physical how?
Like, got into a physical fist fight with my son when he was 16.
Okay.
And he came after Tylee 2 times in Hawaii.
Okay.
And, like, went like he was going to hit her, but then I got in between them.
Uh-huh.
Right.
How old was she when that happened?
Probably 13 and 14.
Okay. So this morning he comes back in and...
He comes back in, I haven't given him his phone. He was screaming at me to give him his phone. He was very worried about whatever was on his text that he did not want me to see. And so I was just holding it there, and he was screaming at me. And I was kind of walking towards around the house with it, so he couldn't get it. He's like reaching for it and stuff like that. And so Tylee came out of her room, upset, and she had a bat. And she told him to leave her mother alone, like, right? So she was really, whatever. And he's screaming at her, don't you hit me with that bat, blah, 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 blah. And then my brother heard all the commotion because he was in there in bed. And so he came out into the main room and, I guess whatever.
What's your brother's name?
Alex.
Alex, okay.
And then he just started, he was screaming and he was super upset and whatever. And, he's yelling at Tylee, don't you hit me with that bat, and blah, blah, blah. And so Tylee, I guess, I don't know if she swung at him or what, but he, like, grabbed the bat from Tylee and then went to, like, hit Tylee with the bat. It was, and I was right there, they were right there, and my brother grabbed him from behind, like, just to stop him from hitting Tylee.
You go like this, like, he grabbed him, like...
Yeah, from behind, like, just kind of to pull him back. And then...
What's that?
Tylee never said that he tried to hit her with the bat.
I don't remember. Right? I think Alex said something like that. I don't know. That's why I'm going to put together that thing where it's just each of the elements, you put all 3 what they say in order. I don't think I've seen that. I'm going to do it. Of course, it'll show up now that I mentioned it, but you know how people are.
They got into the thing, and he's hitting him with the bat, and they're on the ground, like, grappling around or whatever. And then, I mean, it was all
and he
quickly.
And he hit your brother with the bat while they were grappling and stuff?
Yeah, Yes, he was hitting him with the bat, like swinging the bat, back and forth, and they were kind of like on the ground, and I was like freaking out trying to go around, knowing JJ was in the car, right? And so then he got up and he had the bat like this towards me, and I was going around the other side to try to just get out of his range where he couldn't hit me. And then I had told Tylee, because she was on the ground, because after he took the bat from her, she fell back. And so I told her, I was like, go get in the car with JJ. Like, I don't want JJ coming in to the house, and I wanted her out of the way. I wanted the kids out of the way, whatever this fight was going to be. And then,
do you remember what?
Wow, that was right. I just wanted them out of the way, whatever this fight was going to be. Meaning, like, I don't know. It sort of sounds like she's almost.
She knows.
She's admitting, well, I don't want any witnesses. We got to get them out of the way.
Yeah, they handled this so poorly, I'll say. I mean, the whole thing just was handled terribly.
What your husband or your brother were saying or yelling during all of this, if they were at all?
Just kind of get off me, out, or whatever. They were like, don't talk to my niece about it, whatever. Like, it was, I don't remember specifics, but they were kind of in the heat of it. I don't think there was many words that I remember.
So Tylee goes outside.
Yeah, she was outside.
And then what happened?
Then they got up from that, and my brother had, stepped back, I guess, and then Charles was coming with me at the back and yelling at me to give him his phone still, because I had it in my hand. It was all really quickly. And then when I went around kind of in the circle, then my brother was there.
When you said when you were going around and he was coming at you with the bat, how was he holding the bat?
Watch this.
Just like that. Like backwards.
Like he was swinging it backwards? He would have done like
he would have swung it backwards at me, not frontwards.
Okay, yeah.
He was a professional baseball player.
Okay.
So it wasn't a good idea for Tylee to get out of that.
Probably not the.
Doesn't she just every time she laughs, it makes me want to make that sound for some reason, because she's just,
it makes me want to punch her.
It's so ridiculous.
Gosh,
It's like,
nothing's funny. He's dead.
Right. Have you seen 1 minute where she felt bad at all? Like she was sitting there.
Not even close.
It's not even 1
She looks
second.
inconvenienced. Like, this is just silly. Let me just tell my story.
Yeah.
So I can move on, because this is like I have a pool party to go to.
Yep.
He played semi-pro when he was young. But, yeah, and then I was kind of turned around.
You know what's weird about her? She can stay still for almost like one of those guys in San Francisco on the street where they're.
I mean, come on, she's a god.
It's amazing.
She's the wife of a god, Gray. If you were, you would know how to do that too.
Maroney?
Yes.
Oh, I don't know.
Yes, that's why.
And we were all right there in that room, except for the kids had been outside by that time, and I heard the gunshot. And
so you heard the shot? Did you actually see the shot, or did you just hear it?
I had gone around to the kitchen to get away from him, and so back around. So I don't know if he went in the house.
I didn't, so I'm a little bit of a disadvantage.
Yeah, so I didn't see the shot. I heard it, and then I came back around and I saw that he was on the ground.
Okay.
And was freaking out.
Yeah.
And so I was just freaking out, and it just went into mom mode. I'm like, I've got to go to get JJ to school. I've got to get to the kids. I just felt like I got to get to the kids. And so I just went outside and to see if they were in there. Okay, I didn't want them coming back in the house when all that was going on, and got JJ in the car, and he was trying to come in, and Tylee was like looking at me with like the crazy eyes, like what just happened, and I told her to get in the car and we're going to take JJ to school, and I just left.
When you came back in and you saw him on the ground, where was your brother? Did you see him where he was at?
Yeah, he was right in front of him.
Okay.
Like, it all happened very quickly. I feel like I was there because I was right there, and a second later, I just went around the kitchen to get away from him.
Did your brother say anything to you at all? Do you remember?
No, we were both just in shock.
Okay.
Like, it was just I mean, I didn't say anything. I went out with the kids.
Well, Alex probably said, "Hey, you need to get out of here. I got some more shooting to do."
It's just to check on them
Right.
first, and I was going to
I wonder
come
at
back
what
in.
point, though. Sorry, I wonder at what point Tylee went back in for her purse,
Yeah, good.
and
Well,
if she'll mention that.
yeah, let's see if she.
Yeah,
good-
I seen him on the ground, and that my brother shot him, and then I sent my kid back in there to get my purse.
Yeah, see, that's so weird. I mean, why would she do that? That never made sense. Even when, oh, it still. It wasn't like it never made sense. We just were looking at it the other day.
Yeah.
But
It makes no sense
doesn't make any
whatsoever.
sense. Yeah.
Me, but I didn't. I was like, I just have to get him to school
Okay.
and call the police and come back, you know, whatever.
Did anybody say any? Did you or your brother say anything at some point about calling the police or calling 911? Do you remember?
Yeah, he called me and
Okay.
he said, "Are you taking JJ to school?"
Uh-huh.
And I said, "Yeah, we need to call the police." And he said, "Okay."
Okay. So he called you when you didn't come back inside, basically?
Right.
Okay.
Because I was like in the car for a minute, and then I was like, "What do I do?"
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't want JJ to go inside, and I
Okay.
didn't know what to do. And Tylee was freaking out. I was trying to get them away from the scene.
Understandable.
Mm-hmm.
Do you, and you may not know this, so, because I know you heard the shot, do you know at what point your brother had the gun? Do you know if he had it when they got in their first fight, or did he have to go get it, or do you know that at all?
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know.
And do you remember if you ever heard your brother?
I didn't see him ever leave the room.
Okay.
Wow.
So
Weird.
it was so fast. All that was so fast. Like
Yeah.
I'm on the ground rolling around and I'm screaming and
This probably happened in a couple seconds.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah, so maybe he didn't really go back to the room to get it. She didn't. She just said she didn't ever remember.
She
him going
doesn't
back.
know now, right?
Yeah, maybe he had the gun like in his
Ridiculous.
behind him, and like in his belt or something, and then pulled it out. That's kind of weird.
it was like super fast.
And I don't know if you know this or not, does your brother normally carry a gun? Like, I carry a gun everywhere I go.
Right. Like I
So-
know he's a gun person. Like he
Okay.
has guns and things.
Okay.
He's
Did you-
good with guns. And,
Did you know that he had one with him
no.
when he came over?
No, but
Bullshit,
I wouldn't be
bullshit,
surprised if he
bullshit.
did, because
Okay.
he's very, very professional with guns.
Proficient? Professional?
Professional, almost like a hitman. This is ridiculous. This whole thing right here. Of course, you knew he had a gun, right? I mean, come on.
Responsible.
That's why you brought him
usually
over.
good.
Right,
good
but
word.
responsible with guns.
So, like, a good follow-up there would have been, hey, well, Lori, earlier you said you brought your brother over there for protection because Charles was coming over. Do you, so you weren't aware that he was going to bring a gun with him? I mean, Charles is much bigger than Alex. So how would Alex have protected you?
Right.
You know,
and
so-
she just basically said her brother always has a gun. Well,
He's a terrible.
okay, you were scared.
Yeah, he's.
Don't you
yeah.
think it was a bad idea to fight with him in front of your brother who always has a gun, who knew you were scared that he was coming to start trouble, but they don't ask anything. They're just like, okay.
Yeah, it's weird.
Ugh.
They did go back and forth and get information, but it didn't seem like they pulled out the right pieces.
And then, do you remember if at any time, so you were trying to get away from him,
Right.
and you heard the shot. Prior to the shot, do you remember at any point hearing your husband or your brother saying anything to either of them?
No.
So my second
Yes, she
very
did.
ridiculous question.
You see the way that's one time she was like, yeah. Well, no, obviously there was something said. She's just.
Is there anything else that I didn't ask about or anything that we didn't cover that you think is important? I always ask that just because I wasn't there, and so we're going through something that happened
Right.
a super
Right,
small
right,
amount of
right.
time.
Yes. Can I
So,
step?
yeah, go for it.
See, look at this crazy shit right here. I actually thought I would have to reinstall Windows again. Because like she just sat there so still It's ridiculous. I
Yeah.
thought I froze. Okay, hold on.
I'd be in a panic, wouldn't you?
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, I would be so nervous right
Yeah.
now and not knowing exactly what to say or how to phrase it. And she's just like, she's very confident. She's just like, yeah, whatever. It's okay.
Just thinking.
Yeah, one of the shots was from an angle. Well, look at this crap right here. She's just thinking. She's communicating with spirits behind the veil. Not that one. No, not that one.
Just that. He was just so angry, like super scary.
Did
You
you
know how
think,
you take your phone away from like a 16-year-old and they freak out?
Uh-huh.
Like their world disintegrates. Like I've taken my phone away from a 16-year-old boy before, and he's like wanted to kill himself because like they kidnapped him. That's how it was. It was like it's something on his phone that he does not want me to see. That he was like freaking out, like to the point where I thought he would hit me in the back of the head to get the phone.
okay. So you thought, and not, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but you thought it was possible that he was going to hurt you.
Absolutely, he was gonna hurt me and Tylee.
Okay.
Not JJ. He never hurt JJ.
Okay.
And he hurt my brother. Like,
Yeah.
You know what I get from this whole thing is she hates JJ. Now everyone.
Absolutely.
JJ's just been this big, huge burden, and she just. Every time she mentions him, it's never something loving. It's always, oh God, he has to have his chicken fries. He has to have his chicken fries. Oh God, he'll just do this.
Even how she said, if he throws a fit, he's big and he's, strong. And it's not like, this kid has autism and he really has some issues and it's really stressful. No, it's just like, I don't know.
Yeah, she doesn't.
Like,
She
he'll
just
throw a
hates
fit
him.
on the ground and.
Yeah, she was probably really
Okay.
disappointed when Chad came back with JJ being a light figure at some point. He was probably like, "Wait, are you sure about that? He did hit his head once." Oh, and then Chad probably switched it to, "Okay, I see a dark spirit now."
Oh, never mind. Yeah, he's dark.
Yeah.
he was going
Sorry.
like ballistic.
Mistake.
Yeah.
It was bad.
Okay.
She probably held back sexually for Chad, if depending on how he'd marked people. Right? That was her, like, yeah, I'm not feeling that into it tonight. I'm just so disappointed. I thought JJ was dark.
You're so dumb. You are so ridiculous.
Don't you think that's what she was doing? Come on.
Us women have been known to come up with some
I'm going to
reasons.
go
Right?
Okay.
talk to her real quick. And then if, obviously, we'll be here for a little bit, hopefully not too much longer. But if you think of anything or there's anything that kind of pops in your head or something else that we didn't cover, obviously. So I'm going to go talk to her for just a little bit, and then I'll kind of come back and check with you. And then we'll kind of go from there. So I know my partner's talking to your brother over in one of the other interview rooms. So we're going to just try to get, as much done as we can and go from there. Okay. And then, is there anybody that you need to call or anything, or you want to wait a little bit?
I don't know what I would say.
I mean, just look at the way she's sitting. It's just like this whole yoga kind of, like, she's just not really concerned at all that
She
her
doesn't
husband.
have a care in the world.
Yeah.
Nothing.
And wait a little bit, we'll see.
Yeah. I don't know what I would say.
And if you want to, you can think about it. So we do have victim services that work within the police department. They're right over here. They're not cops, they're civilians. And they do, Jessica, who's out there with the fire department, so they're kind of our crisis response. They come right away. Mm-hmm. So our victim services that work in the department are kind of more long-term type support systems. So they're just a really good resource because they do a lot of stuff with our families and things like that and can help with support services and questions you might have.
She's been through so much.
So it might be a good
I
idea.
just can't stand for her to have to go through all this.
Yeah. It might be a good idea maybe
Exactly.
before I take you guys back today that I get one of them to come in and maybe sit and talk with you guys and see. And it's not something there's a bunch of stuff they can, offer, but it's good to have a contact and like a name and a face and a phone number.
That'd be good.
That way maybe a couple days from now, a week from now, or if there's something going on or you think you need help with something, it may not be something that's necessarily up like me and my partner's alley, but it very much may be up theirs. So I'd like for you to meet one of them before we leave. That way, hopefully if there's something that they can help you and your daughter with, they can, or even JJ or whatever else.
Right. Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
I hadn't even thought about him.
Yeah. So.
I mean, he's used to him not being there, but he wouldn't understand even if you told him.
Right.
Like,
See.
that somebody passed away, he doesn't understand.
She makes it just, makes him sound like he's just really can't do anything.
No.
I mean,
I've seen JJ on video. He's fully functional. I mean, he was not low functioning autistic, so
yeah.
I don't know why she refers to him that way.
She keeps bashing him right here, though. Look at how, what?
What that means. Well, I mean, it's hard at 7 to understand that
Anyway, that's true, but with him, he just doesn't, which is probably better because he doesn't comprehend things, but.
Notice how she did that with her finger, like, woohoo, cuckoo, like this, like that.
Yeah. So let me go find one of them, and then we'll make sure that you guys get to meet with them before you leave, because that might be something very helpful for you guys. And I'm going to go speak with your daughter for just a little bit, and we'll kind of go from there. Okay? And if you need anything, let me know, okay? Okay.
Okay, this next segment is sped up 10,000 times. So look at this next segment is sped up 10,000, 100, 200, 400, and she doesn't even, there's just a little bit of movement. It is crazy. Here, watch this. Coming up. Not right there. It starts in about, coming up. There it is. Look at the time down there. 17, 18. There we go. That was like 12 minutes.
Yeah. So one of the victim services, Denise, is here. So I kind of told her just a little bit of what happened. So if you're good with it, I'm going to have her come over and I'm going to introduce her to you guys so you guys can talk for a little bit, which kind of works well too because I need to run over to where my partner's at and just talk to him a little bit. That way you guys will have a little bit, hopefully, extra support if you need it. So I'm going to go grab Denise real fast and then introduce you guys. Okay?
She's like, I don't need anything.
So this is Denise.
Hi. Hi. Sorry.
So she's gonna take you over to like a conference room so you guys can sit and talk and stuff. And then you can just, once you guys talk and kind of, you can decide if you're comfortable with Tylee coming in or whatever.
Okay, sure.
And then we'll
I just don't want her to be left alone in there by herself.
Yeah.
She's freaking out.
So we keep kind of popping in and checking on her and
I
stuff.
just don't want her to be alone too long.
Yeah.
We'll be as brief for as long as you want. Okay. I'm here to try to. You get lots of choices when you talk. So we'll just get started and then then we'll go from there. That sound okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Thanks.
They handed me this, but that was just out of his remote car.
We tend to do strange things sometimes.
Well, there you go. Crazy, huh? You there? She might have taken off. I don't know.
Here.
I don't know who. Someone said they can't wait for Dennis or Denise or whatever. I don't even remember who that was. Who is that?
Denise.
Yeah, somebody typed in, can't wait to hear
Then
Denise.
she has another friend, Melanie Gibb.
Yeah, there's Melanie Gibbs. There's, I don't know who Denise is. Never heard of that person.
Horrific.
Yeah, Melanie is the wacko.
Yeah, you've got, we still have to go Melanie and Ian.
Oh, the lady they just passed her
brother
to.
Adam.
Oh, I guess it was the lady that she just went with. I don't know. I'm not really that interested in that, but yeah, whatever.
What lady that she went with?
The one that just walked right in, and And remember there was two ladies right there, and that was like the counselor.
Oh, yeah.
So I mean, maybe it'll be interesting. She'll probably just say something like, "Yeah, she just seemed really disinterested. They never even called me once," or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, she doesn't care. I think Melanie Gibb's interview is super interesting.
Yeah.
I think Melanie and Ian's is very interesting.
And then we also have
the other brother, Adam. Oh yeah. He pinned it on. I mean, he said they wanted to kill Joe. They were planning to kill Joe before my brother and my sister. So
does he go into the police station here too?
No, he doesn't go into the police station. There's an audio though that I have from him.
And then
it's really good.
And then there's like Pastine's. She goes in there too.
Zulema,
yeah.
Yeah,
Zulema
Alex's
Pastine.
wife, hers too.
Yeah, and they got married almost within one day of Melanie and her husband. See, that's why it just
it's
feels
the
like
same place. They were all there in the same photographs.
That's
together.
why it feels like it's a like they were just sort of building this cult, sort of like it's all at the same time, and they were trying to get rid of their spouses to create, get some money there too, like a bunch of. I mean, it's just wild.
Kind of weird nonsense they were doing, because if Melanie, the niece, left Brandon so abruptly, then we've got the body cam footage from Melanie going back to the house, and she is so strange. Everything about that woman is strange. So it gets pretty interesting from here.
You're talking about Melanie
Not
Gibb?
that this isn't.
Melanie Gibb or
no.
Melanie
the
Brandon's
niece.
Yeah, the niece.
Yeah, Brandon ends up getting restraining orders on her, and she violates them over and over again. And the way that she argues with police and the crazy things that she's saying she's as crazy as her aunt.
I don't think I have that one. Maybe you can send me a link to that one. We just got to load these
There's
all up and
bunch of
watch them every one of them.
Sure. I'll upload them to Google Drive, and I will send them over to you.
Well, if you have the YouTube
afternoon.
link, that's probably quicker. The one.
Oh yeah, I might have the links.
Yeah.
Yeah, I might have the links actually. Okay.
All right. Huh.
I will do that.
Yeah, I mean, this is it's weird when I haven't covered it for just off and on for the last year or so, but before that I had all the documents and was completely covering it since the beginning. But
there's so much on it though. You got it's like oof.
It's really
you
interesting.
Cover so many things when you have to go back and look for all this. You're like, wait a minute, what?
I mean, this trial might last for
ever,
like months. I mean, I don't know, but it just feels like it. There's just too many things.
I hope they subpoena every single person who was in any way involved with their little cult following there, and because Melanie Gibb was pretty careful in what she says, even though she tells a lot. You can feel she's hesitant to say too much because she doesn't know exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, so there's something really weird about her. I don't know.
Oh yeah. Well, they asked her, did you, the zombies and these lives? And so, well, I was interested in hearing what he had to say. And I'm thinking, I'm interested in a lot of things, but if somebody was telling me this kind of stuff, I don't know.
I feel bad
I'd be like,
for
all right, that's too much. I gotta go.
Like Ian Pulowski, I feel bad for. Like he's probably.
Yeah.
But then he's kind of. That's such a weird situation. So he's the one that Melanie married, the niece.
Okay. Yeah.
And then, then he turned on all of them. He's the one that gave the FBI or the police, anyways, the information on the light and dark spirits, and just was like, this is crazy crap. But then he looked at Melanie and went, wow, she's so pretty. Okay, I gotta change I'm not gonna help anymore. It's just so weird, the whole situation.
And she was totally cool with that. She's like, yeah, at first I didn't understand, but we're fine now. And I'm thinking, he recorded you for the FBI lady. What?
Yeah, I mean, I was talking
and they're fine.
I actually had long text messages on Facebook, whatever you call that, instant messenger or whatever, with Ian's mom. Yeah, I'll see if I can go find some of those things. But I was messaging Ian's mom, I don't know. It was
There
weird.
are some definitely odd characters in this whole situation.
Yeah.
They're crazy.
Yeah,
So,
but I know you
this'll
got
be
to. I know you
interesting,
got to
though.
take off and go do stuff. But we were
Yeah, I
able to
gotta go get
squeeze
my
in a show.
son.
That was good.
Yes. Off I go. I got to go get my son, and he starts soccer today.
All right. Oh, good. There
So,
you go. Soccer.
yeah, that'll be fun.
All right. Well, thank you all for showing up here. I go to the side by side here if you want to look at the little tiny rabbit there. But so thank you all for being here, and we'll see you next time. Not sure which video we'll be playing, but until then,
One of them.
be safe out there. All right. And
We love you so much.
That's right. We love
Bye.
you so much. All right. See you later. Bye. Be safe out there. I love you so much.